That's a very Chinese name, my friend. The music isn't too loud, is it? I mean, there's barely any music. It's basically just Metroid ambient sounds. Give it a little bit. I'll start officially in about 3 minutes. What's up, Tails? Yeah, I fixed it. All I did was turn down the game music a significant amount. So I figured that out. That was cool. And of course, Metroid music is always on the lower end of things. Final Fantasy, Samus Returns. Alright, let's get started. So here, we got another FF11 event, that our one FF11 event for the year that we have to have because we always need one at least once a year. So we got some new stuff here that comes with every FF11 banner. Always comes with new stuff. Lilizette has the Limit Break Guardian. We got some new True Arcanes for Prish and Lion, which are also really good in Realm characters. Out of Realm, Lion's probably the better one out of Realm, but Prish is definitely the savior in upping your DPS in the FF11 realm. And we got a new sync for Lily and Prish. Chantoto's got the new Gen 3 chain for Realm. Prish has a new LBO. And Lily has a new LMR Plus. And we got new record abilities. We got Prish with her HA, Nullifying Dropkick. It's a pretty cool looking one. And then Lily's with her HA, the Dancer, but it also does a debuff on attack, magic, and defense for 50% and a full party AoE heal. So it's a little different than Passionate Salsa, but it heals more right off the bat. So if you want to use Lily, probably stack those two together, or just use a HA, whichever one fits your fancy. If you need the res debuff, then I'd say bring Passionate Salsa. If you don't, then don't bring it. You know what I mean? And then the regular stamp stuff that happens over here, all the 1 through 20, nothing changes there. And now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this banner. So let's start with the TAs, of course. For our two physical DPSs, we got Prish and Lion. Prish's gives that twin element mode, so if you use ice or lightning, whichever one you're gonna get, you're gonna get whichever one you do more damage in, you're gonna get that element right after, of course. And then Lion, which is just N water, and they both give a BDL +1, so they're both your standard ADSBs. They're not like the ones where they give a buff and imperil, and then they only do 10 hits and a 99 at the end. These are your standard hard-hitting ones that scale off damage. Well, Lions might scale off hits, but I think it scales off damage. We'll check that soon. And then we have Lilizette's LBG, the Limit Break Glint. She summons herself. Gives Protect, Shell Haste, the normal standard stuff, ATB1, Def Res +200, so it walls itself, and lightning, so it does lightning damage. Some good old lightning damage from Lilizette, a support character with LBG. So all in all, it's not too bad if you use that. Use the skip a phase, use the skip a phase in DK, or use it to just do some big damage out of nowhere that Lilizette, normally doesn't do because she's dancing and supporting. And then, but this one has a 7% overflow radiant shield. So, if it gets hit, it's doing a lot of damage back. So you got to take a big hit and do a bigger hit back. Take a 10k hit, it'll do 700% of that to the boss right away. Of course, taking damage calculations into effect. Lilizette has a new sync. Rising Samba, it's full break, full buff one, attack magic red def res, instant party 3k stock, so it's pretty good on support side, pretty good if you need like heals out of nowhere, pretty good if you gotta do some speed tricks at the end. Mostly because that 3k stock, of course, stock ticks always find a way to mess up your run, so you gotta figure that out, and maybe you can stack up some attacks at the end. Then we'll get to the sync stuff in a bit. So we're going to cheering mode. Let's go to that down here really quick. It might be hard to read on the phone, but I'll read it out to you. Alright, so Lilizette's Synchro. Let's see. So it's an attack celerity dancer, and I think it links to celerity or dancer, so you can choose either one between those two. So it's good in the fact that Lilizette, it works with their AASB, where the AASB, of course, does different effects based on dancing or celerity or supporting. But this one links specifically to celerity and dancer. The first attack alternates between def res and attack magic debuff, so it stacks even more because the IDs are different. So you're putting even more debuffs on the boss, so you can do more damage, survive more hits, all that stuff, all that good stuff, yada yada. And it gets self QC1. Then we got the defense command healing Samba. And the cool thing is it just does a party 1500 heal right off the bat, so you would probably put that with the HA if you want to do that. And with that, you get 3000 heal almost right off the bat. It doesn't say instant cast, so it does have a cast time to it, but that is what that does. Now, here's the best part about Lilizette's Synchro. Is it activates her Chase Cheering mode, which does Party, Prismatic Dual Cast 1, Self Dancer Dual Cast 1, and it removes Cheering mode after that. So the cool thing about this is if you have Cheering mode available, you can plan one big turn where all your DPS deals around maybe 3 times the 3 casts of a specific ability, up to 4 casts, up to 5 casts. If you're Shantoto, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 casts in that one turn if you get that off. Not if you get that off, luckily. Hopefully, it's not within a phase shift, and you're just using that one turn to just unload all of Shantoto's damage at once. Hopefully, that's probably the best way to use it. It's for that one turn nuke. But remember, you only have that for one turn, so you gotta plan that out as best as you can. All right. So I wouldn't say this goes well with her ASB. You probably use them separately, but you want to make sure that you plan the SASB command at the right time to where you can get that one turn nuke. Once you get that one turn nuke, and everything should be dead at that point. Dead as a doornail. Alright. Now let's go to Prish. Prish's sync. Prish is personally one of my favorite FF11 characters of all time. Let's see. So let's go back up here. 100 Fists, Lightning Ice, 15 and 15 single, Twin Element Mode 3 after that, Unparalleled Mode, and 100 Fists. So what that does is, her attack command, standard 6 hit Lightning Ice, neutral element, defense, sneaky kick, which is an overflow attack for 1 hit, and if you have 4+ FF11 members alive, you have self-crit chance plus 100 for 2 turns. And then of course Twin Element Mode does end lightning and ice, all that, so you have stacking in lightning, stacking in element in those two, so it's not in element 3. It's not major infusion, but it's 2 times infusion, 2 stacks of it. Now you have her, let's get to her unparalleled mode. So it chases an FF11 ability with a 3 hit single enemy lightning, ice, neutral element, all that good stuff, and it gives party prismatic damage plus 10%. So every time an FF11 character moves, activates that chase, keeps activating that chase, keep upping your damage by 10% by prismatic damage. But if you're using your Historia Crystal, by that point it should already be maxed out if you plan that well enough. And then it removes Unparalleled Mode after 6 chases. So you want to use those chases as best you can. So it's kind of like Maria's Sync 2 in the fact of the chases, but except it doesn't give ATB, ATB 103 times to that specific character. It just does more damage, and then that goes to 100 Fist mode. So 100 Fist mode, 0 to 3 FF11 characters alive, self IC1, so you definitely want to use Prish in a heavily saturated FF11 team. The more FF11 characters you have, the better she'll be, because that's just what she does. You got 100 Fists, and then with that, if you have 4+ FF11 characters alive, you have party crit damage plus 50% for 3 turns, IC1, and self crit chance plus 100% for 3 turns. So you got 3 turns of just unloading all of front-loaded damage right there. And 100 Fist mode activates after the initial usage of Prish's SASB. So plan those hits accordingly. You want to make sure you get the most out of all of your attacks. And after that is Shantoto Synchro. Shantoto Synchro is what we know already. It is the DRB for 5 turns, instant ATB. It's pretty busted if used wisely, used correctly, and she W cast. Gives her trance, gives her a 7 attack, a 7 hit witch attack, but you probably want to use it in conjunction with ASB so you can get those double casts off, get up to 4 casts, and then if with Lily get those 5 casts. So we already know what that is, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Lion gets her sync. Not gonna go too much into that too. It's nothing too crazy. But it does imperil water off the attack command, which Lion is basically the go-to imperiler for water with that, her HA, and I think her ASB has a imperil chase in there after 2 hits. And then after that, you have the defense command, assassin's charge, single hit overflow, water damage plus 30% for 2 turns. So you could probably use that in the DK phase 2, while he has his 5-second shield up. Keep doing that. Keep riding that wave until it loses that damage, so you keep that damage increase, and then you could probably tack on your HA to that. Use your ASB, and then you just use HA from there, or you can use command 1. Cool thing about Lion's Sync is it has almost a trance ATB. So, under 20% health, you get instant ATB, instant cast 1, and crit chance 100%. For that one turn only, though. Alright, now we get to the new part of Shantoto's tech here, which is her chain. So it's the same thing as Cloud's chain, of course, and any other Gen 3 realm chain. They're mostly all formulated the same way. But I'll go over it again because I didn't explain Cloud's. Alright, so it gives Link Burst mode, for the FF11 realm. 150 hit count, large field boost, so it's better than the RW chain if you can use it. But of course, since it's the Gen 3 chain, you only have one use of it, so you got to use it wisely. You either beat the boss within those 15 seconds, or bring the RW chain too, so you can continue on tacking on your damage while having the buff from Shantoto's realm chain. You know what I mean? Or you can use RW chain in the beginning, save Shantoto's realm chain for phase 2 on, so you have reliable 15 seconds of that. That also helps reduce Dragon King's crystals as well, so it does less damage, and you can manage that a little bit better. Gives party prismatic damage plus 10% for each FF11 character that does a different damaging ability. So let's say you have Lion. Let's say you have a Yame and Prish. A Yame does Ice Samurai. Prish has her Ice Monk ability. You would get the 10% buff from whoever you use first. So if Prish uses her Ice ability, that'll bring up the 10% buff. But if a Yama uses Ice ability after, that won't, because you need a different one. You need a different element, not the same element. So that's how that works. And you can do a lot of crazy stuff with all this, mostly because the chain gives everyone IC1 too. So the realm chains are pretty good if you happen to get one. They're pretty useful tech. They don't cost anything. And let me see if I can find that for you. Yep, here we go. So instant party attack magic plus 30%, QC1. My bad, I said IC1. 150 chain, 50% field boost. So that is your large field boost. You got Link Burst Mode 1, IC1, and 0 soul break cost. So it doesn't cost anything. You can use it instantly, and then you can just kind of attack your damage on from there. After that, you got Prish LBO, 4 hits since it's dual element. Crit does 100% crit, lightning, ice overflow. Pretty good if you happen to get it. Use it in phase 2, phase 3, push a phase, all that good stuff. And then we have Prish's Awakening. This is old, but I'll go through it one more time. So it does the classic Awakening stuff, infinite homes, rank boost, all that good stuff. But thing about that is Prish is the only one with the realm party weakness damage boost. And it gives HQC1. Even better. So instead of giving self HQC 1, gives party HQC 1. So keep on doing your damage, keep on casting stuff fast, keep on beaming on your opponent, make them cry, never do a DK, never do FF11 DK ever again, have a good time. And then Lilizette's Awakening, we all already know what that does, so I'm not going to go over it because that's a waste of time. And if you don't know what it does, you can look it up yourself. And besides, it's right here anyway, so you can read that, read it slow, read it nice and well. Her and Prish have the full buffs for that realm. So you're probably going to bring one of the two with you in your DK if you still need to do it, since it is one of the harder ones and not many people have a lot of good FF11 stuff. So this is probably your best chance to pick it up. Pick up as much as you can. I think it's one of the better banners that we will be having in the next upcoming weeks. And you never know when FF11 stuff is going to come back. But I'll check that for you because I'm a nice guy. Let's see. So there does happen to be a pickup in the supposedly going to be the 5th of April 2022. That date is not set in stone, so don't quote me on that. And we might not even get that pickup. So if you need any FF11 stuff, probably the best time to get it now, or wait for ticket refreshes and then use all your tickets on that. And then if you get good stuff, you can do more stuff with it and have a good time. But if not, then just keep holding out. And then we're gonna go to Banner 2. Just real quick. So Banner 2 has Zeed Sync, Ayame Sync, Aphmau Sync, Zeed's Awakening, Ayame's Awakening, and other stuff that I don't think I need to talk about. We got Zeed's Glint Plus, Aphmau Glint Plus, which is Pro Shelga, Lion Glint Plus, which is Overflow, Weakness, but and Water Stacking, and Aphmau LMR Plus, which is a dual cast every third white magic or monk ability. So yeah, if you need any Zeed stuff that isn't his ADSB, this is probably the banner to pick it up. Zeed is a pretty cool character, if I do say so myself. He is basically the Tidus of Dark Physical in terms of his sync, ramp up sync, though he's not too fast, so you kind of have to settle with him being not as fast as Tidus in that case, or not as fast as anyone with a 2x ATB sync. But he still hits hard. And if you get his Awakening, even better. Combo the two together at the right time, he'll be doing some crazy amount of damage. His Awakening gives a rank boost and it gives a dark ability boost. So you get plus 30 on top of 30 if you know you're using your HA. So if you want to cycle between Command 1 HA, Command 1 HA, go forward and do that. He'll be capping damage no matter what. Zeed's a pretty cool guy. Like overall, yeah, I think this is a pretty good one where you should have not pulled last week, and if you did, you're weak-willed, and I have nothing to say to you. But if you saved up, you've been a good boy, good girl, this is your banner you want to pull on, because after that we get the water lab banner. We get our good old Bart's Pain, Arya, Layla, Sarah, and Tidus next week for our new lab dungeon, which is going to be the Salamander. And you want that Tidus AA too, mostly because it's Tidus. And Tidus is probably the best water physical DPS in the game. And if you don't have a good Tidus, this is a good starting point. So, pull if you want to, pull if you don't want to. I might be streaming some of these pulls tomorrow so you can, laugh with me, cry with me, laugh at me. It really don't matter because I'm only doing 9, maybe 10. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But the point is I'm pulling tomorrow and I hope I get what I want in, 10 pulls. If not, I'm stopping there. My main wants will be, let's see, mostly the new stuff, of course. So Prish TA, Lion TA, Lilizette LBG, and then Lilizette Prish Sync, and then Shantoto's Chain. So I want, good maybe 6 stuff from here. I already have Lil Zet's ASB Max, so I don't need that. Prish, I'm always glad to have more Prish homes because Prish is the best FF11 character in the game. So, and I take anything Prish. Shantoto, I don't need that sync. I don't want to be like Reza and just keep pulling Shantoto syncs, but I think I just jinxed myself. So I might be getting those syncs. And then I'll take as many realm chains for Shantoto as possible, because at max that thing gives you 200% ATB. And it's probably good for one turn. And it gives you instant cast right after too. So you can stack that with a sync right after, stack that with the AASB, go to town, have a good time, and then do all your damage from there. Alright, y'all. The banner review is done. It was a good 27 minutes. And if you have any questions, don't ask me, ask yourself. Do you really want this or do you want to skip it? The next banner is going to be a water banner. And remember, this is just my insights. I am a whale in this game, so I do spend a good amount of money, and I shouldn't, but it's fun. So, do what you need to do with your mental, with your gems. This is my advice. I'd say pull on this banner for a couple of things. Don't go too crazy. But you never know when FF11 stuff is going to come back. I don't know if JP had a realm refresh in the tickets yet. I will look that up later, and I don't know how I'm going to tell you all if they had one or not, but I'm going to just say if they do, they do, and if you know, you know. Alright, y'all. Have a good one. Peace out. Oh, yeah, I might actually stream some fights from before I start using relics from this banner, and after I start using relics from this banner, just to see the little bit of contrast and difference in between how much these relics affect, how much easier this DK is, and how much easier this DK got since then. Because I did it once and I never retried it after that. Alright. Fucking toodles.